When I was 14, about a year before my parents divorced, my younger sister constantly spent her allowance on makeup, mall food, video games, and clothes from Hot Topic. While I had an allowance too, my dad made me earn it by cleaning the house and doing yard work. My sister never lifted a finger unless dad supervised her, and mom never made her do chores unless it was to clean her room for extra cash. I mowed lawns, picked up discarded cans for the deposit, and did other odd jobs around the neighborhood. I was saving to buy a scooter, and over 2 years I managed to save about $2,000. However, getting that money built up was not easy because my sister knew all my hiding places and would steal from my stash. Here's a highlight from what I remember. "Hey sis, did you take my money again?" "What? No," she lied. "You're a terrible liar. There's $100 missing from my savings. Leave me alone." I didn't do it. She started fake crying and ran to mom. "Mommy, bro is picking on me." "She stole from my savings again," I said. Mom snapped at me. "Shut up. Can't you see mama's little girl is upset? She said she didn't do it, so she didn't. And that's all there is to it. If you don't let this go, I'll ground you." "I know she did it, and if you don't get the money back, I'll get dad's help. There's no need for that. Besides, you don't have any proof she took your money." "Yes, I do. I keep a ledger for each dollar I add. 3 days ago, the total was X. Now, there's only Z. $100 is missing, and you know she's stolen from my savings several times already. Plus, I know she spent all her allowance this month. Where'd she get the money from?" Mom scowled. "You know what? You are grounded. Go to your room, or I'll get the belt." I knew when to stop talking in that household, so I went to my room and slammed the door. I pulled out my Nokia cell phone and called my dad at work. He didn't pick up, so I left a message explaining everything. An hour later, he called back and said he'd sorted out. Soon after, I heard Mom yelling at Dad over the phone. Mom tried to justify her actions but ended up yelling, "Fine. If she really took the money, then you can pay it back because she already spent it." Mom stormed into my room screaming, "I can't believe you ratted me out, you little ingrate. After all I do for you, you couldn't just let a little money slide?" "So you admit my sister took it?" Mom sneered, "You know what? I don't care. Girls need more money than boys. You should just give it to her anyway. It wasn't even that much. It wasn't just a little money, and you know it. She stole $100, and even if it was only $1, I'd still want it back. You wouldn't want someone stealing from your purse. It's no different if sis steals from me. She's guilty, and I want that money returned one way or another. I worked hard for it. My baby doesn't have to do anything. She is a princess and deserves to be treated like one. That isn't my problem. She can go be a princess away from me and my stuff. That's it, you little __. I'm going to beat your ass." I stood up and faced her eye to eye, already as tall as her at 14 and strong from all the outdoor work. "Go ahead and try. I won't let you because I didn't do anything wrong." Mom froze, then let out a loud roar and swung her arm to knock something off my dresser but hit the dresser itself. She grabbed her hand in pain, gave me a furious look, and then walked out. I heard her yelling and smacking the wall as she went downstairs to get drunk. My sister watched from her bedroom door, horrified, before fleeing back inside and slamming the door. Mom was her ace in the hole for getting away with things, and that was quickly changing. A few hours later, my dad came home, marched my sister into my room, and made her admit to stealing from me. He gave me $100 to replace what she took and grounded her for a week. My mom just sat on the patio getting drunk and never apologized to me. My sister still got her next allowance anyway, because Mom gave it to her instead of Dad. A few days later, Dad bought me a combination safe to keep my money and other valuables in. We didn't tell Mom or my sister about it. It had a 4-digit code, and I kept my money in it. Weeks later, after mowing some lawns, I found my room ransacked. I called Mom, who of course denied it, saying my baby didn't do this. "Well, did you?" "No. It could only have been one of you. The room was clean when I left, and no one else was here." "Fine, but if she did it, so what? You had it coming for not being nicer to her." I called my dad and left another message. Then I told my sister I knew she tore up my room and said she couldn't get to my money because it was locked in a safe. She threw a tantrum, and Mom came running, but I repeated that she couldn't get at my money anymore. My sister screamed for 20 minutes, but nothing was missing or broken, just thrown around. I cleaned up, feeling smug. The next day, my room was ransacked again and my window was broken. My sister had hurled the safe out the window because she couldn't open it. I called my dad, and when both parents got home, my sister admitted to everything. Mom tried to side with her, but Dad chewed her out, saying he got the safe because he was tired of my sister stealing from me. My sister was grounded for a month, and Dad got me a lock for my door. My sister was sulking when Dad was home, but Mom let her do what she wanted when Dad was at work. I didn't bother saying anything because it would just make me more miserable. After her grounding, my sister begged me for money every time she spent her allowance, but I refused, saying she'd never pay it back. When Mom tried to get me sent to military school, Dad didn't let her. Despite Mom's attempts, my dad always reimbursed me for my stolen money. After finding an application for military school in Mom's handwriting with a forged signature of my dad's, I showed Dad. He kept it as evidence. Months later, it came out that Mom was having an affair, and Dad filed for divorce. I went to live with him after he bought another house. He used the forged signatures to speed up the divorce, and Mom got the house and minimal alimony and child support. She was mad but couldn't do anything because of the forgery evidence. When I left to live with Dad, my sister said smugly that she was more deserving and that's why I was leaving. I just shook my head and left, feeling free. My relationship with my sister deteriorated, and I didn't visit Mom's house. She used my old room as a home office anyway.